All right, so let's talk about self-help for a second. Ever feel like you're just spinning your wheels? We're going to dive into one single sentence that might just change everything. Let's get into it.
I mean, you know the feeling, right? You're scrolling through your feed, you see some motivational post, and you get this little burst of energy. But then what? An hour later, it's gone. Nothing actually changes.
And that's exactly what the source material for today's explainer talks about. This feeling of being stuck on a hamster wheel of content. You know, you consume all this stuff that feels good. It gives you a little hit of motivation, but it's just temporary. It never leads to real, lasting growth.
Okay, so this really lays it all out. On one side, you've got that temporary hype. Think of it like a sugar rush, right? It's all about finding some external hack. But on the other side, you have lasting change. And that's not some magic trick. It's a whole new perspective. It's about making those shifts on the inside. That's where the real, sustainable growth comes from.
So, how do you break out of that cycle?
Well, for the author we're looking at, it wasn't some new productivity app or a super complicated 10-step plan. Nope, it was something way, way simpler, but also way more powerful. It was just one single sentence that completely reframed everything.
And here it is. This is the sentence. It's from the legendary speaker, Jim Rohn. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better.
Wow.
And here it is. This is the sentence. It's from the legendary speaker, Jim Rohn. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better.
The impact for the author was apparently immediate, like right away. This wasn't something that slowly dawned on them. It was like a light switch just flipped inside their head. And just like that, the focus wasn't on all the problems out there anymore. It turned completely inward.
And you can see how this was way more than just a nice quote you'd stick on a wall, right? This was the real deal. It was the spark, the catalyst, that kicked off a genuine transformation. It made the author think, okay, I need to know more. And they just dove headfirst into all of Jim Rohn's work. So the author's journey from there was actually pretty clear. You can kind of see the steps here. First, they hear the quote. That leads them to explore the whole philosophy behind it. And that exploration, that's what made all these bigger ideas, concepts like discipline and setting goals, finally just click. And this is where things get really interesting. Look at how this one idea completely redefines something like discipline. For most of us, discipline feels like a punishment, right? A chore. But through this new lens, it totally changes. It's not a punishment anymore, it's a tool. It's the thing you use to build the person you want to become. It becomes an active choice, not something you're forced to do. And really, this is the heart of the whole thing. The entire mindset shifts. You stop trying to change the world around you, which is, let's be honest, mostly impossible. Instead, you focus on the one thing you actually can control: you, your skills, your attitude, your ability to bounce back.
This comparison just nails it. The old way of thinking, the wishing mindset, is totally passive. You're just sitting there hoping things get easier, blaming your circumstances, waiting for something outside of you to change. But the new becoming mindset, that's active. That's all about focusing on what you can do, on your own capabilities. It's about driving your own growth. I mean, it's literally the difference between being a passenger in your own life and getting in the driver's seat. So if there's one big takeaway here, it's this. It's a shift to taking radical responsibility for yourself. It's about taking all that energy you waste wishing for fewer problems and instead channeling it into becoming the kind of person who can handle those problems. That right there is the core of this entire switch.
So let me leave you with a question to chew on. Think about it for a second. What's the easy thing you're wishing for in your own life right now? What's that one challenge you wish would just go away? And now, what's the better you could become to face it head on?